On the world news tonight, FG declares June 12 public holiday. How Tinubu escaped poisonous knife, Shehu Sani opens up. 10th National Assembly to be inaugurated Tuesday. Also, Nigeria losing bright youth to other countries. We must act now. And on sport, and still Super Eagles assistant coach Finidi. Now the news in detail. The federal government has declared Monday, June 12, as a public holiday in commemoration of 2023 Democracy Day celebration. This was contained in a statement issued by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Interior, Dr. Oluwatoyin Akinlabi, on behalf of the federal government. While congratulating Nigerians on the occasion, Akinlabi stated that the country's democratic journey has encountered stormy and smooth sails just like in many other countries. She said, but the ship of state, its institutions, and most importantly, the Nigerian people have remained steadfast on the tenets of the democratic governance. On this memorable occasion, therefore, Nigerians and friends of Nigeria are invited to appreciate the progress that has been made, celebrate the milestones covered, and look forward to a better future for the country's democracy. The Permanent Secretary wishes all Nigerians a happy Democracy Day celebration, the statement added. Former Kaduna Central Senator Shehu Sani has revealed how President Bola Ahmed Tinubu escaped a poisonous knife following his recent appointments. Sani, who took to his Twitter handle Wednesday, claimed Tinubu dodged a poisonous knife through his appointment of the Secretary to the State Government (SGF) and Chief of Staff (COS). Recall Tinubu appointed former Interior Minister George Akume as the new SGF, while appointing Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbadabiamila as the COS. However, Sani said Tinubu would have caused discord between him and Vice President Kashim Shettima if he had appointed who he described as Mr. Obasabi, leaving his followers in suspense. If Tinubu had appointed Mr. Obasabi as SGF or Chief of Staff, he would have sworn the seed of discord between the President and the Vice President, speak and move around as more important than the two. Tinubu has dodged a poisonous knife, Shehu Sani tweeted. Going to the next story. The 10th National Assembly will be inaugurated on Tuesday, June 13, 2023 at 10 a.m. This is according to an announcement signed by the clerk to the National Assembly, Sani Tamboa, on Thursday. According to the announcement, senators-elect and members-elect of the House of Representatives are to visit the Senate Conference Room 231 and the House of Representatives Conference Room 301, respectively, with copies of the Code of Conduct clearance, certificate of return, and valid identity cards for registration on Monday, June 12 at 10 a.m. Due to the ongoing renovation of two chambers, senators-elect and honorable members-elect are to come along with only one guest for the ceremony, who will be seated at the arcade, the statement added. Tamboa further added that only senators-elect and members-elect will be given access to the chambers. Going on to the next story. Outgoing Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbadabiamila, says youth in the country have lost faith in Nigeria and are choosing to seek their fortunes in other countries around the world. He spoke on Wednesday at the valedictory session organized for the 90th House in Abuja. Gbadabiamila, who will assume as new office next week as the Chief of Staff to President Bola Tinubu, said executive and legislative arms of the government must act fast to save the mass exodus of bright youth to Europe and other parts of the world. Addressing his colleagues in the House, Gbadabiamila said, "Honorable colleagues, despite the considerable investment we have made to improve our public infrastructure and the numerous reforms we have enacted to change how we administer the government, our country faces many significant challenges. These challenges have caused many of our fellow citizens to wonder if the promise of democracy will ever become real in their lives. Too many of our young people have lost faith entirely and are choosing in droves to seek their fortunes and therefore futures in other lands." Continuing, he said, "How do we ensure a healthy, vigorous, growing economy that provides opportunities for all who work hard to succeed? through their labor and ingenuity. These are the critical questions of all of us in the government must have answer to, or risk the unforgiving judgment of history. With each new day, we have an opportunity to make the hard choices and take the necessary actions to guarantee our nation's future. With each new day, we have less time to act and a more outstanding obligation to act quickly.
To change how we administer the government, our country faces many significant challenges. These challenges have caused many of our fellow citizens to wonder if the promise of democracy will ever become real in their lives. To many of our young people, they have lost faith entirely and are choosing in droves to seek their fortunes and their futures in other lands. We are losing some of our best and brightest. And if we don't act now, the consequences of this loss will shortly and painfully become evident. How do we ensure a healthy, vigorous, growing economy that provides opportunities for all who work hard to succeed through their labor and ingenuity? How do we protect our people from the marauders and the insurgents, the petty criminals and assorted villains who wish to harm them, whether for profit or in service of other agendas? How do we restore faith in our young people so that so many of them no longer feel like the only way out is for them to achieve their aspirations is to chase their fortunes in faraway, often hostile lands? These are the critical questions all of us in government must answer, or risk the unforgiving judgment of history. With each new day, we have an opportunity to make the hard choices and take the necessary actions to guarantee our nation's future. With each new day, we have less time to act and a more outstanding obligation to act quickly. As you are all aware, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, has nominated me to continue serving the people of Nigeria as chief.
Moving on to fuel subsidy. The Oyo State government has announced a 50% reduction in the fare for the Census transport service as an effort to ameliorate fuel subsidy removal effect on its residents. Olubomi Oni, the state's head of service, made this announcement on Wednesday when she hosted the leadership of the state chapter of the Nigeria Labour Congress led by its chairman, Kayode Martins, at the Secretariat Agodi, Ibadan. According to her, with the limited resources available, the government would continue to make life more bearable for the teeming masses, especially the workers. Oni further assured the NLC that the administration, under the leadership of Governor Shehu Makinde, will continue to prioritize workers' welfare to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy, stressing that Makinde had started working on the new minimum wage for all workers in the state. She maintained the government was looking at all possible ways to reduce the suffering of the downtrodden. From Oyo State, we go to Lagos State. There are plans on the way by the Lagos State House of Assembly to make promulgation that will potentially undermine land and property ownership by non-indigents, especially Igbos, in the state, following a declaration by its Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, to reverse all the reversible. Enterprising and industrious, the Igbos, originally from the southeast Nigeria, were target of several vicious verbal and physical attacks by Yoruba politicians and their acolytes. In the last presidential and governorship elections, many Igbos had drawn their weight behind the Labour Party and its posters board and presidential candidate Peter Obi. They were blamed for APC and then candidate Bola Tinubu's loss in Lagos on February 25th. Lagos is a Yoruba land as against the assertions of some people that it is a no man's land, Mr. Obasa declared. Therefore, part of our legislative agenda is to ensure the translation of laws passed by this House to the Yoruba language. Mr. Obasa, a long-time ally of Mr. Tinubu and a staunch member of the establishment, stated this on Tuesday in his acceptance speech as a third-term Speaker of the Lagos Parliament and the inauguration of the 10th Lagos Assembly, revealed plans by the ruling All Progressive Congress APC to pass new land and property laws would favor only indigents. The Lagos Speaker revealed the plot of the APC-controlled state parliament to use all legislative instruments to favor indigents against other tribes. The National Population Commission (NPC) in Lagos Wednesday said it would take advantage of the postponement of the 2023 census exercise to revisit some hard-to-reach locations in the state. The NPC would also use the opportunity to update information on 6 local governments which were demarcated between 2015 and 2016, when the Commission was still using analog method to carry out an enumeration area demarcation (EAD). The LGs are Mushin, Shomolu, Agege, Surulere, Lagos Mainland, and Ikeja. The NPC Federal Commissioner for Lagos State, Barrister Bimbola Salu Udein, while briefing newsmen at the Commission's office, said physical demarcation of the 6 LGs would be carried out again with the help of the digital technology acquired for the exercise. According to her, while the Commission was well prepared for the census exercise prior to the postponement, the deferment was a blessing in disguise. She disclosed that out of the 1 million ad hoc staff recruited nationwide for the exercise, 5,000 who were hired from Lagos had been trained and their allowances paid in preparation for the exercise. From Lagos State story concerning the National Population Commission, we go straight to Anambra State. The police command in Anambra has rescued 2 victims wrongly accused of ritual acts by an angry mob in Ihiala local government area of the state. DSP Tojuku Ikenga, Anambra Police Public Relations Officer, made the disclosure in a statement made available on Thursday in Oka. Ikenga said it operated rescued 2 victims and a suspect who was about to be linked by an angry mob at the Total Junction in Ihiala. He said to set the record straight, the incident was not a case of ritual killing, but a pure incident of murder. Preliminary investigations reveals that the 2 victims, a man and a woman, who were humiliated and paraded naked as shown in a social media video by an angry mob, were erroneously accused by the mob. He said the victims were seen at the scene where the murder happened and were not the perpetrators. Ikenga confirmed that both the suspect and the victims were currently receiving treatment in an undisclosed hospital while the dead have been deposited in the morgue. The command appealed to the public never to take laws into their hands, irrespective of assumed offense. Ikenga disclosed that the Commissioner of Police, CP Echeng, had reacted to the incident and sued for crime. The CP has ordered the immediate transfer of the case to the State Criminal Investigation Department for a comprehensive investigation. Ikenga assured that further development will be communicated to the public and urged all residents to go about their lawful duties. From Anambra, we go straight to foreign story. The United Kingdom's Department of Health and Social Care has committed to strengthening Nigeria's health workforce with a grant worth €2 million. The World Health Organization, WHO, which disclosed this in a statement Wednesday, held the new funding commitment. The statement said the grant would cover a 2-year period to support the government of Nigeria to optimize the performance, quality, and the impact of the health workforce through evidence-informed policies and strategies. Dr. Walter Kazadi Mulumbo, WHO representative in Nigeria, said the strength of every health system reflects the capacity and adequacy of its health workforce, which are necessary to deliver quality services to address population health needs. The British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Dr. Richard Montgomery, said a skilled, well-motivated and adequate health workforce was critical for Nigeria to end preventable death and build resilience against global threats. If you are just joining, you are watching the world news from BGI TV Current, and the last story for the day is a sports story. Finidi George has stated that he remains the first assistant to Super Eagles head coach Jose Peseiro. There were rumors that the winger has been shown the exit door by the Nigeria Football Federation. Finidi, who also doubles as head coach of Nigeria Premier League outfit Eyimba, was absent in the Super Eagles' last outing against Guinea-Bissau. The former Ajax player, however, stated he is still with the national team. I'm still with the national team to Jose Pesero as second and will come next week. I think the camp opens for the players to come, and I think I'll be there if things don't get twisted. Finidi told a radio program Sports Salsa. But first thing first, let me finish this duty with Eyimba, and if things go well, I'll be in camp. Before we call it a wrap on the world news tonight, let's have some major headlines. FG declares June 12 public holiday. How Tinubu escaped poisonous knife, Shehu Sani opens up. 10th National Assembly to be inaugurated Tuesday. And for the next story, Nigeria losing bright youth to other countries. We must act now. Badabia Mila. Lagos belongs to Yorubas. Lawmakers will pass new property and business bill. And on sports, I'm still Super Eagles assistant coach Finidi speaks. For more update of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Nagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advertisement of goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Moriwe Prabila Lawa. Good evening.